Hello and welcome to Overtime. Today we have the first concrete proof of what we've been told repeatedly, that President Trump would try to, if he failed to win the election, overturn it through some other means. We first heard that he would do this in The Atlantic, if I recall correctly. I'm sorry, that one's from memory. I believe it was The Atlantic, which reported that there were serious talks in his campaign of trying to get electors to get governors and or these secretaries of state to assign electors to the Republican Party and not to the Democratic Party if in battleground states they were elected or designated to go the other way. Once, in fact, he lost those states, we heard reports that that's in fact what he tried to do, but we never had any concrete evidence of it until now. We now, in fact, do have solid evidence. The Washington Post has released audio, a 1 hour audio. Actually, I think they've only released a clip of it, an excerpts, about 4-minute excerpt from a 1 hour call. What they say is a 1 hour call between Trump and Georgia election officials in which he attempts to get Georgia election officials, including the Georgia Secretary of State, to, quote, find additional votes, sufficient votes to overturn the election, and threatens vague legal consequences if they do not. We will play that in a minute. In response to this, the latest Georgia Congresswoman-elect Carolyn Bourdeaux of the 7th Congressional District has said, quote, "I will not be silent as the outgoing president continues his attempt to subvert the will of more than 5 million voters in my state. The United States of America is a democracy, not a dictatorship. Donald Trump is trying to change the outcome of the presidential election by strong-arming and bullying our election officials into subverting our democracy. This is an outrage. I will use every power in my authority to reject Trump's desperate attacks on Georgia's voters and our elections." That is exactly what he is doing. And the problem is we are the frog in the pot of water. We are used to this by now. We are used to all of his shenanigans. Nobody's entirely surprised by any of this. And he has done so much of this that we're not as outraged as we could be. If this were the first we had heard of this, if we were learning of Obama doing this at this exact moment, there would be protesters in the streets. There would be rioting. There would be looting. Everybody would be freaking the fuck out right now. But with Trump, this is just another day. And the reality is he is irrefutably attempting to subvert the foundational institutions of this country. He is suggesting to a Secretary of State that they go overturn the will of the voters of that state. Actually, Republicans should be more upset even than Democrats because, frankly, this is where the Electoral College comes into play, and that is a Republican institution, not a Democratic one. And the idea that a sovereign state would be messed with, could be tampered with by the president of this country. They're supposed to be for states' rights. Don't tread on me. The president is suggesting that a state can be told what to do. And we're going to play it momentarily, and he's going to say, well, gee, I thought you were a Republican. Exactly. A Republican of all fucking people should say, excuse me, sir, the government doesn't get to tell me what to do and doesn't get to tell me who votes for whom in my state. This is an outrage, and the fact that more people aren't outraged, this isn't the country I thought it was. I thought this is what people, especially Republicans, fucking died for. Perhaps I am wrong. What you're going to hear now was obtained by the Washington Post. I do not know, though I am somewhat curious as to how they obtained it and whether or not this recording is even legal. Nonetheless, we have it and are going to be playing it for you now. This is between what appears to be Donald Trump, the Georgia Secretary of State, and what appears to be the lawyer for the Georgia Secretary of State. Here it is.
Based on all of this, and there's nothing wrong with saying that, Brad. You know, I mean, having a correct. The people of Georgia are angry, and these numbers are going to be repeated on Monday night, along with others that we're going to have by that time, which are much more substantial even. And the people of Georgia are angry. The people of the country are angry, and there's nothing wrong with saying that. You know, that you've recalculated.
Well, Mr. President, the challenge that you have is the data you have is wrong.
Now, do you think it's possible that they shredded ballots in Fulton County? Because that's what the rumor is. And also that Dominion took out machines. That Dominion is really moving fast to get rid of their machinery. Do you know anything about that? Because that's illegal.
This is Ryan, Germany. No, Dominion has not moved any machinery out of Fulton County. We're having.
Well, but have they moved? Have they moved the inner parts of the machines and replaced them with other parts?
No.
You sure, Ryan?
I'm sure.
You should want to have an accurate election. And you're a Republican.
We believe that we do have an accurate election.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't have. Not even close. You're off by hundreds of thousands of votes. You know what they did, and you're not reporting it. That's a criminal offense. And you can't let that happen. That's a big risk to you and to Ryan, your lawyer. That's a big risk. But they are shredding ballots, in my opinion, based on what I've heard, and they are removing machinery, and they're moving it as fast as they can, both of which are criminal fines, and you can't let it happen, and you are letting it happen. I'm notifying you that you're letting it happen. So, look, all I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have, because we won the state. So tell me, Brad, what are we going to do? We won the election, and it's not fair to take it away from us like this. And it's going to be very costly in many ways. And I think you have to say that you're going to re-examine it, and you can re-examine it, but re-examine it with people that want to find answers, not people that don't want to find answers. For instance, I'm hearing Ryan, and he's probably, I'm sure, a great lawyer and everything, but he's making statements about those ballots that he doesn't know. But he's making them with he did make them with surety, but now I think he's less sure, because the answer is they all went to Biden. And that alone wins us the election by a lot. So.
Mr. President, you have people that submit information, and we have our people that submit information, and then it comes before the court, and the court then has to make a determination. We have to stand by our numbers. We believe our numbers are right.
Well, under law, you're not allowed to give faulty election results, okay? You're not allowed to do that, and that's what you've done. This is a faulty election result. And honestly, this should go very fast. You should meet tomorrow, because you have a big election coming up, of what you've done to the president. You know, the people of Georgia know that this was a scam. And because of what you've done to the president, a lot of people aren't going out to vote. And a lot of Republicans are going to vote negative because they hate what you did to the president. Okay? They hate it. And they're going to vote. And if you would be respected, really respected, if this thing could be straightened out before the election. You have a big election coming up on Tuesday.
I do apologize. A background service kicked in while I wasn't watching, and it has been creating lag. I know the cause of it, and I'm dealing with it. It will reduce the lag. Sorry, sometimes when I have to do a show quick, I can't get quite everything down in time, and it happens. So lag should be taken care of. I do apologize. At any rate, yeah, that was rather startling and an attempt at bullying. Obviously, it didn't work. They were well. They stood their ground. I mean, really, the answer is yes. We are required to do fair elections, which is why we are not succumbing to a president coming in and telling us to change the results willy-nilly. The full audio is, in fact, actually now available, and we're about to wow, this is, looks like we're about to lag again. I do apologize. The full audio, as I understand it, is, in fact, now available at the Washington Post, so I encourage everyone to go there if you want to hear it. Obviously, this is extraordinary to have a sitting American president attempting to overturn the results of a legitimate U.S. election and attempting to do so at the state level. Probably something worthy of a longer and full discussion on in time, but nonetheless, obviously not something we would discuss on overtime. Thank you all for joining us. The best way to show your support, give us a like and a thumbs up if you're here right now. We certainly appreciate it. We will be having a full show tomorrow. We will be having actually a discussion on where we stand in general on COVID. We won't be actually talking the hard numbers so much. We will be talking about the personal effects that it has had on people. We'll be sharing stories about where we are now, the losses that people have incurred, lost opportunities, what the lockdown has done to people, how we've sort of changed what the new normal is, how we've kind of stayed the same also. And I think it's going to be I think it's going to be a special show. It's going to be a different show. We expect it actually to be a lot longer than one of our normal shows. I hope you will show up, but that will be, actually I said tomorrow, no, that will be our normal Tuesday show. It's going to be a little early to accommodate the extra long hour. Please join us for that. Tomorrow will be our regular Patreon meeting, our first Monday of every month. If still time to become a patron, if you want to do that, in-time show on Patreon. Any level of support, come join us for that. And, come join Vox, myself, Mowdy for the Patron Hangout. Those are always a blast. Shoot the shit, talk about the show, talk about the weather, whatever you want to talk about. And we got a lot of good stuff planned. Richard Carrier, a few other marvelous guests coming up. But in the meantime, thank you for joining us, and have a marvelous rest of your evening. Thank you all very much, and we will see you in the coming days. Bye.